Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. Let us just have a look at the meaning of the word Nabi. And if we research the meaning of this word in the Lugha, in the dictionary, the Arabic dictionaries, it is mentioned Al-Mukhbiru anil ghaybi aw al-mustaqbili bi-ilhamin min Allahi ta'ala. One who is an informer, one who gives khabar, who gives the news of ghayb. Ghayb means hidden news. News relating to the future. News of what is happening in the qabr. What is going to happen in the mustaqbil. In the distant future or near future. Not through calculations or through forecasts as we see done by the weathermen on television all the time. No. Through information bestowed to him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Mukhbiru anil ghaybi aw al-mustaqbili bi-ilhamin min Allah ta'ala. It is from Allah. So, those people who argue and say it is shirk to believe that the Prophet has got the knowledge of ghayb, because Allah is the alimul ghayb. Undoubtedly, Allah is the one who is alimul ghayb. As his ghayb, the difference is that Allah's ghayb is his very own ghayb. The Prophet ﷺ's ghayb, hidden news of hidden information of the future, or what is happening in the qabr, or what is going to happen in the distant future, etc. It is a bestowal from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has bestowed that to him, and he has the qudrat, the power to do that, and he has done that. Allah is his very own, and Allah's ilm is unlimited, whereas Rasulullah ﷺ's ilm is limited. It is mahdud. Allah is la mahdud. Yeah, it has no ends, no limits. Whereas the Prophet ﷺ's ilm, it is limited. It cannot even be compared to the Creator's knowledge, whether that is ilm ghayb or ilm of other things. You cannot compare Allah with any of His creation. Laysa kamithlihi shay'un. There is no element of shirk whatsoever. So a person who denies that the Prophet ﷺ has ilm ghayb is out of the folds of Islam, if you deny it completely. Because you are ultimately denying verses of the Quran Majid, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned and stipulated quite clearly and categorically that He has bestowed to the Prophet ﷺ knowledge of ghayb. Let me mention to you a hadith which is found in Imam Bukhari's Sahih, that the Prophet ﷺ, he was going past graves. قال مر النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم بحائط من حيطان المدينة أو مكة. The narrator is unsure as to whether this was Makkah or Medina. Look how careful the Ravi, the narrator who was reporting the hadith, would be. And he says that the Prophet ﷺ, he heard noises from the graves. And these were the noises of humans who were being met out with punishment. فَسَمِعَ صَوْتَ إِنسَانَيْنِ. Punishment was being given to those human beings in their graves. And the Prophet ﷺ, he realized this. A normal human being, people who always claim and say he is just like us, they wouldn't know any better. They wouldn't even realize this. No matter what kind of most advanced equipment you can think of, you would not be able to ascertain what is happening in those graves. Whereas a Nabi of Allah, he is able to know this through knowledge bestowed to him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he says that he heard the voices of two human beings who are being punished. And then the Prophet ﷺ, subhanallah, look at the greatness, the magnificence of our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He even knew why they were being punished. He said, مَا يُؤَذَّبَانِ مِنْ كَبِيرٍ بَلَا كَانَ أَحَدُهُمَا لَا يَسْتَطِرُ عَنْ بَوْلِهِ. That they weren't being punished, both of them, for doing something major, for doing a major wrong. Rather, one of them, he did not use to protect himself from the splashes of his urine. وَكَانَ الْآخَرُ يَمْشِي بِالنَّمِيمَةِ. And the other, he would engage in doing namima, what is translated in the Urdu language as chugli, or creating friction between Muslims and the Prophet ﷺ, he then asked his companions to bring a branch of a tree to him, and then he broke that branch into two. He split it into two and placed a part of that branch onto each of their graves. And then the companions asked him that, Ya Rasulullah, why have you done this? He responded by saying that as long as these remain fresh, both of this branch remains fresh upon the graves of these two human beings, then this will continue to lessen the punishment that is being met out to them in their graves. So this clearly illustrates the ilm GHAYB, the knowledge of GHAYB that the Prophet ﷺ has been bestowed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is just one example of the knowledge of GHAYB that our Nabi ﷺ has. That he knew what was happening in the qabr. He also had access to information, meaning he knew why they were being punished, which was not happening at the present time in their grave. What was happening currently at that time when the Prophet ﷺ was going past those graves is that they were being punished, which our Nabi, through his knowledge of nubuwah, through the barakah of his prophethood, he was able to know and understand. And secondly, he even knew why they were being punished. Something that they had done during their lifetime, which was not happening currently, but it was in relation to their past. And then he even knew the remedy and the cure to that. That he asked his companions to give him the branch of a tree. They pulled it off a tree which was fertile, which was green, which was alive. And then he used that, and he knew that through the barakah of these branches, through the tasbihat that these branches are engaging in, because everything that is on the earth, it engages in the tasbih and tahleel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, according to the Quranic verse that يُسَبِّحُ لَهُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا فِيهِنْ, وَكَمَا قَالَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى فِي الْقُرْآنِ, that everything does the tasbih, what that is in the heavens and in the earth, and whatever is in between them. So that is the tasbih, and our Nabi ﷺ knew that through the barakah of this tasbih, the punishment that is being given to these people, it will be lessened. This also teaches us that if through the barakah of the branch of a tree, the punishment being given to deceased Muslims can lessen, then undoubtedly if a hafiz of the Quran, or if a qari of the Quran, or a reciter of the Quran is sat at the grave, or if he recites the Quran and sends the thawab, he transmits the reward to the deceased Muslims, then undoubtedly this will also help to lessen the punishment that is being given to those Muslims in those graves, and it will be a means of their forgiveness if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, and if it is being bestowed and transmitted to people who are the awliya Allah or the anbiya Allah, then this will be a gift to them from the person who is transmitting the reward.